So hey guys, and welcome to the video. Have you ever been to your favourite theme park and been on all your favourite roller coasters? There's always that one roller coaster that you go on, either because the queue's short or because it's the last resort. Today in this video, I'm going to be talking about my least favourite roller coasters. Now again, these are my opinions on these particular roller coasters. You may like some of these. If you disagree with me, please let me know down in the comments. Let's start a discussion. Also guys, if you go on to like this video, please smash that like button and click that subscribe button. Also, turn on all notifications by clicking that bell so you don't miss a single video. So without further ado, let's get straight into the video. Number 5. So at the number 5 spot on my list, I have got Oblivion. This is a B&M dive coaster. Now, I don't think Oblivion is necessarily a bad ride. It's definitely not a rough ride. I just find it very short and underwhelming. I felt like Bollinger and Mabillard, also John Worley, the designer of this roller coaster, could have done a lot more for the world's first vertical drop, or for us roller coaster enthusiasts, dive coaster. So if I was to change anything on Oblivion to make it a little bit better, I'd put a 0 G-roll as it comes out of the hole, then I would make it twist around and come back in the station. Again, it's the time that you're sat on the brake run and you're actually on the ride itself that I have a huge problem with this roller coaster. It's just not long enough and it's just underwhelming for me. Now don't get me wrong, for the time this was fantastic. Back when the ride opened, this really was an engineering marvel. But again, I just don't feel, for me, like it holds up compared to some of the other roller coasters that I've got the chance to ride. Number 4. So in my number 4 spot, we have the Intamin Accelerator Coaster, Rita, the Queen of Speed. Well, not necessarily the Queen of Speed anymore. Stealth at Thorpe Park is faster. Also, you've got better accelerator coasters out there in the world. I just feel like Rita is really underwhelming. It's starting to get a little bit rough, and again, the time that this roller coaster takes to complete the circuit is just a little bit short. It's really got nothing special going for it. There's a little pop of airtime as you go over the top, as you come out the launch, go around that bank turn and come over the top. There's a little bit of airtime, but for me, that's it. I try and avoid riding Rita wherever possible. If you've seen my Scarefest vlog, please go watch that at the end of this video. I said that I'd ridden Rita 2 times this season, and that was enough for me. Again, I just feel like compared to a lot of the roller coasters I've ridden out there, Rita really isn't the greatest. Number 3. In my number 3 spot, I have Colossus, an Intamin roller coaster at Thorpe Park. Now we're really getting into the roller coaster that I dislike now. Colossus is just a horrible, jerky mess. The last couple of times I've ridden this roller coaster, it's just not been enjoyable at all for me. Again, your mileage may vary, but again, I just don't find this roller coaster comfortable. So talking about the layout for a second on Colossus, I just find it very meh. Those Heartline rolls at the end of the roller coaster, for me, are just unbearable. You're pressed into your harness at that point, and there's several of those that you've got to go around. It lasts for at least 20 seconds, and again, I just don't like that at all. Again, if I go to Thorpe Park, this is one that I'll probably ride once or twice a season just to say that I've ridden it. Also, a fun fact for you, this might add to why Colossus is so rough. The supports and the structure for Colossus are actually sinking into the ground a little bit. Again, this might be why it's so rough, but in my opinion, they should just tear this roller coaster out and put something brand new in. Thorpe Park, please get an RMC. Number 2. At the number 2 spot, we have Infusion. I'm going to sound a bit hypocritical here because I say in multiple of my videos that I like SLCs. I do like SLCs, but Infusion is just unbearable. I don't like the harnesses. the seats are uncomfortable, and it's just rough. It's a classic example of how SLCs don't age very well. One thing I've noticed about Enfusion is even on a quiet day, it gets long queues. Now, if I'm waiting 20 minutes to half an hour in a queue, I would rather queue for something like Icon, Grand National, or Big Dipper. I really don't want to be queuing a long time for Enfusion because of the reasons which I've mentioned. Now again, I do like SLCs, but I just feel like this roller coaster could have been designed a lot better. So in defense of Blackpool Pleasure Beach, they did inherit Enfusion from another park. That might be why it's so rough. But it still doesn't excuse the fact that for me, it's pretty much a no-go. Number 1. So in first place, you probably already guessed this already, it's the Big One. So this is still the UK's first and only hypercoaster. Opening in 1994, this really was a great roller coaster for Blackpool Pleasure Beach at the time. I just don't feel like it's aged well at all. Now, I've ridden this for the first time back in July of this year when me and Oakley Dokley headed out to Blackpool Pleasure Beach. Do check out that vlog. I just don't feel like, personally, it's a great roller coaster. As you're going down that first drop, and coming into the first hill, it's just unbearably shaky. Again, your mileage may vary, but for me, it's just borderline unrideable in some parts. I know that it has been retracked recently, and hopefully that's a trend that will continue on, but I just feel like there needs to be a bit more done to it than a simple retrack.
Maybe scrap it so I don't have to ride it again.
Again, talking about the seats on the Big One, where the seat belts are, and just how the seats are designed, for me it's just uncomfortable, and it just adds to that overall unrideability for me. Now, I know there are some die-hard Big One fans out there, and this video will probably get bashed because of this ranking. Again, it's my personal opinion, but I just don't find the Big One enjoyable. In my last vlogs, I kind of came to terms with it, and I kind of got a few good rides with it, but again, those rides that I had with it weren't very enjoyable. So again, that's why it's at my number 1 spot. Again, guys, these were my personal opinions and my personal rankings, so please don't bash me too much for it. If you've got a different opinion, again, let me know down in the comments. Let's have a discussion about this. So guys, again, if you've liked this video, please do click that like button and click that subscribe button so you don't miss any videos from myself. Also, click that notification bell, really handy, lets you know when I've got a new video out. I've been Ryan from iCoaster, and I shall see you in the next video. Goodbye.